Well, thank you for bringing Mac in this morning. It was so lovely to meet him, and I'm happy to tell you that he's a very healthy dog. I didn't hear any problems with his heart, but there are some things I want to tell you about his heart to make you aware of him. And for that, I do have a brochure that I'm going to give you to take with you. Unfortunately, Cavaliers are very prevalent to developing something called mitral valve disease. One of the valves in their heart starts deteriorating over time. It's genetic and it gets worse as they age. If you want to take a quick look at this brochure, the mitral valve is the one that is between the left atrium and the ventricle, and that is the side of the heart that sends the oxygenated blood into the whole body, and it gets a lot of wear and tear. It's the most muscular part. So over time in many dogs, not only Cavaliers, that valve will deteriorate. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, it is genetically determined that Cavaliers will develop it much more than other dogs. After a certain age, up to 50% of them have this issue. Right now, there is no cure. What we can do, though, is treat it with drugs to slow the progression of the disease and give them a good quality of life. Now, you did the right thing by finding a really good breeder that does testing on their animals. So you have a better chance than many of having a very healthy dog to the end of life. Now, it's not an automatic death sentence for Cavaliers. I am a long-time owner myself, and I've had one live to be up to 16 and a half years old, and she didn't die from any heart issues. So there are very healthy Cavaliers out there, and we really hope that Mac is going to be one of those. So what you need to do to ensure that your dog stays as healthy as possible is have his heart listened to at least once a year. What we're doing is checking for heart murmurs. That's a sign that there could be issues with the valves. Another thing is to give him good quality food, especially foods that have grains in them. There have been a number of studies recently that show that dogs that are receiving totally grain-free food will have issues with hearts. That's also in other breeds in addition to Cavaliers. The other thing is to keep his weight down. Do you have any questions for me?
If something does happen to Mac and his mitral valve, is there any treatments that are coming up or on the horizon?
Well, right now, as I mentioned, there's certain drugs that we can give to help control the condition, to keep the symptoms down and slow the progression of the disease. However, there are some good, exciting possibilities in the future. One of them is there is a doctor in Japan who has been doing heart surgery on dogs to repair the valve, and it's been pretty exciting as far as the results. He's actually trained doctors in London at the Royal Veterinary Centre. They've started doing this type of operation, and in the upcoming year, they're going to be doing it at the University of Florida. In addition, Tufts Veterinary University and Auburn Veterinary University have started doing subjects and studies specific to the problems with the Cavalier hearts. So while we don't have a cure per se right now, there are some really exciting options coming up in the future that may help this wonderful breed live longer. Thank you.